Well, hello there wherever you are. This is match number 29, the Guyana T10 Blast. Welcome to beautiful Enmore on the east coast of Demerara in Guyana. It's the Berbice Piranhas against the Berbice Caimans. So today promises excitement, two matches. Having a look there out in the middle of the pitch, there's just a little tinge of green, not too much, but some dead grass rolled onto the pitch. There's some oily moisture there. The sun is not streaming down in all its glory, and you look there at the pitch, no cracks whatsoever. Going out to the middle for the toss there, and let's see what's tossed up on the coin. The news is that the Piranhas, they have won the toss out in the middle, and they decided that they're going to have a bat first. So semi-finals teams have already been decided, and that's the Demerara Pitbulls, Essequibo Anacondas, the Berbice Caimans, and the Essequibo Jaguars. We're looking at the Caimans team. Kevlon Anderson is the skipper, the hard-hitting Alex Algu, Anthony Bramble. There was Arian Passat. Good to see Anthony Bramble here. Kevin Sinclair, Jonathan Van Lang, Devon Lord, Bernard Bailey. There's also Matthew Pataya. Good to see that youngster. Navendra Prasad and Stephen Sankar. That's the Caimans team. With me, Avinash Ramzan. Hello to you, Avinash. We're looking at the Piranhas.
Hello, Energy. Hello to everyone tuned in. Of course, the Piranhas there, bottom of the just in the penultimate spot. Versami Kamala captain, Ryan Dindial, Garfield Phillips, Krishna Singh, Quentin Sampson, Rajiv Ivan, Ricky Sargent, Ronaldo Rennie, Sagar Hitpermani, Suresh Danai, and Tejaran Chandapal to open up.
Yeah, so it's the end of the road for the Piranhas as well as the Demerara Hawks. The interest in these two matches today will be the Caimans and the Anacondas. And why I say the interest is based on both teams, whatever happens here today, if the Caimans win Avinash, they go at the top of the table, so they will be sitting high. That simply means if they lose, the placement is already completed if they lose this morning game. It's going to be the Anacondas against the Jaguars and the Pitbulls against the Caimans. So lots of interest in this encounter.
Definitely, the Berbice Piranhas, of course, you mentioned that they haven't qualified for that semi-final, but of course they want to end this tournament with a statement, and they're starting to do that. We've seen a change in the opening pair. Tejaran Chandapal along with Quinton Sampson, two players on the opposite end of the spectrum, and they're certainly looking to end this tournament with a bang and ensure that they have some momentum and something to speak about as the tournament comes to an end.
And you're right about that. Playing for pride. No worries with them. Looking to change the batting lineup. The left-handed Tejaran Chandapal, my guess is he will continue to play his natural game, accumulate his runs, unless a real bad ball or a free hit comes about. On the other hand, Sampson might be looking to get his eyes in a little here. And who knows, might be thinking a century in today's game.
Definitely, you spoke about Tage, and we saw what he did with that free hit the other day, sending that ball way beyond the boundary. And he'd be looking to end the tournament with a statement as well. But Quinton Sampson, he has been outstanding with the bat in the tournament. He has been the batsman of the tournament along with Alex Algu. And he would want to end this tournament just the way he started, hitting sixes all over the place.
Yes, he has had a good tournament so far. 2 half centuries in this T10 Blast and a number of good scores. But one of the things I think that the Piranhas faced in this tournament, Avinash, where is the support to the likes of Sampson? I think that has bothered them tremendously. Whenever he gets out early, he batted at number 4, batted at number 3, batted way down the order as well. So there must be some support. So I think that's the strategy. Give him a chance to open the batting, 10 overs, just 60 balls. Face maybe a couple deliveries, gets his eyes in, and they go after the bowling. No doubt, preparing for next year T10 Blast as well.
Yeah, definitely. If he had that support, I believe the Piranhas could have done so much better in this competition. He was basically like a one-man show, dominating the bowling. And we saw some brutal hitting from him. And this is a type of format that would suit his type of style. And Quinton Sampson has certainly made a statement in the tournament, and he would want to, of course, end it with a high. But, of course, we saw Alex Algu as well, who has been a revelation this competition, 2 big half-centuries against the Demerara Hawks.
Yes, certainly there have been quite a few guys. When you look at them, you have the feeling that they were actually made to play T10 cricket, the shorter format of the game. We recall Akshaya Prasad too. Whenever he fails, his team actually fails. Flamboyant 74 at Maltinos, made a good 40-odd at MMZ on the west coast of Demerara. There's been some talents that, we saw Vantel hit the ball a very long way. So it augurs well for whatever these players want to choose. You want to play 10-10, you want to play T20, concentrate on that. There are a number of leagues. And more here. You look at the outfield there, with the little rains that we have had so far, the greenery begin to appear more and more. This is a lovely ground.
Definitely. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago when the dry weather was very, it was really...
Yeah, so my thinking is that we might very well have a good turn-up of spectators. And they're very vociferous when you come to this part in the country areas.
Yeah, they're always the experts beyond the boundary. They know everything that should be done out in the middle, even though some of them may not have even held a bat before.
So that man you see there on your screen is Bernard Bailey. He can be nippy, very sensible bowler. And Tejaran Chandapal, Quinton Sampson are the ones out in the middle opening the batting for his team. First delivery, just shortest, in fact signal wide by the umpire. Not a good start here by Bailey. And Tejaran in his own little way shoulders arms and allow it to go by.
Tejaran Chandapal, he made an unbeaten 29 in that last game, and they narrowly lost, I believe, by 8 runs. Batted the entire 10 overs. not taking his team to victory. He'd want to rectify that this time around, want to get a score.
Yes, he shot down the track and he has blasted this one away. That's going to go away for 4. Good looking shot. Good to see Tage using his feet as well, throwing the bowler off length there. Dropped it short and he spanked it away. Good looking shot.
Bernard Bailey, not the fastest guy on show, but Tage and Ryan moving down the track and playing with confidence with the fielding restrictions in place. Safe shot in the end, a boundary to start.
Yeah, so here's a good start by Tage and Ryan Chandapal, getting it in the middle of the bat. And with the restrictions in the first 4 over here, you know, here is where good batsmen must take advantage of those situations. Let's see how he's going to continue with the over. Coming down the track again, and this time he's going over the top. Has enough. That's gone for a maximum. Calculated shot. And we are seeing a different Cub this morning. That's a thunderous start to Tage and Ryan Chandapal.
Bad ball by the bowler. Intent shown by Tage and Ryan Chandapal. Coming down the track and using the wrist and clearing the man on the long on boundary. Excellent shot from Tage and Ryan Chandapal. Flying start for the Piranhas. Yes,
already 11 runs spanked off the first over. A wide, a 4, and then a maximum. Bends his head here, Bailey. Let's see the line he's going to bowl this time. Down the track, he's going over the top again and connects brilliantly once more. And that's another maximum. He's playing at his home ground here, Tage, and he's opening up nicely this morning.
Well, he's probably saying to himself, a day ago, I didn't get it right. I got to put things right here now. And he's certainly given the Piranhas an excellent start. Quinton Sampson, who can do much more than what Tage is doing here. He's a bystander.
Well, if they're going to hit from both ends and both men will connect, I think we are in for a record first innings total here at Enmore today. Already 17 from just 3 deliveries. And Tage just saving his best so far for the last.
And he's having a bit of word there with his Guyana Harpy Eagles teammate, Anthony Bramble. Some smiles under that helmet. He certainly would be pumped. Good flowing start from Tage and Ryan Chandapal. And quite unlike the Tage and Ryan Chandapal we know, he's a guy that would graft, but he's probably told himself, you know what, let me end this tournament with a bang.
Yes, not a bad idea at all. And we all know, we follow this game. We have seen Tage bat. If Tage has the presence of mind to open up and score freely, he can do that. Like we are seeing right here in the middle. And this time his timing was a little bit off, but still gets a single there. Give credit to the bowler too. Took some pace off it, a little bit more shorter. Never got up the way that Tage was looking for.
Well, 17 off 4, he's gotten a start. And we were just having a little conversation, a few of guys just before the game. And we were talking about Tage and whether it was a question of ability or a more mental thing. And we came to the conclusion that it has to be mental. We know Tage's ability. He has played cricket for quite a number of years at the youth level for Guyana and into the senior level. He's one of the better batsmen around. And it has to be a mental issue in terms of making that transition across formats.
Yes, and sometimes, you know, life is full of challenges. How you overcome those challenges, that is what counts. And it's good to see him. He looks more comfortable with himself. And that's a good delivery, right on target. Can't give this man any room. You give him room, he's going to take over the whole house.
Yeah. And with that start you've gotten from Tage, Quinton Sampson could actually play a forward defensive shot.
You're absolutely right about that. But I look at Tage there with the bat. The first delivery he faced, when he left it alone, shows that he had some intent with him. He looks comfortable within himself. You know, when you enjoy what you do, in any walks of life, any profession, it brings out the best from you. And he's just beginning to get back there.
He would want to go big in this innings for the Piranhas. Down the ground, Quinton Sampson off the mark, brings the man off the long on boundary. The end of over number 1, 18 without loss, the Piranhas.
Great start by them. In fact, 19 without loss, with Tage leading the way. 17 from 4. Normally it used to be the other way around. But I like what I'm seeing with him, you know, this morning. This is what he's capable of doing. He looks so good when he times the ball. Quinton Sampson, just 2 deliveries, 2 deliveries and just score 1. And anytime he can open up, Quinton Sampson. So this is a little bit danger here this morning for the opposition. That's the Caimans. They will not be troubled. They are already qualified. The only thing here, if they win, they'll be going at the top of the ladder.
Of course, they would want to have momentum going into those knockout matches as well. So it's important for them to ensure that they have those areas of concern sorted in this match to ensure that they're pumped and confident heading into that semi-final contest on Saturday.
Yes, and he's a slow bowler here. Aryan Prasad has a reasonable good tournament so far. On occasion, went for a few, but he's a youngster. Best bowling 3 for 3. Can he pitch at the right length and line to tie down Sampson?
Get it.
That's an excellent delivery. Floated nicely, heading towards the middle and leg stump. And Sampson opening the batting here gives the impression needs a few delivery to settle along, and he's doing right that.
Right, and he has the luxury of a Tejan Chandapal going great guns at the other end, so he can play himself in and get a feel of the pitch and ensure that he bats deep into this innings.
Yes, and with Tej now in strike to the left arm, Aryan Prasad, this could be a very interesting battle. Will he choose to go over the top of mid-off, mid-on? He have to give himself a little room, or will he be going over mid-wicket? Those are options that he has. 26, 23, 29 have been his score and got great starts. 2 not outs, that 26 and 29, I think, were the innings in which he remained not out, but consumed a lot of deliveries.
Get it. Oh, good line.
Well, Tej would want to bat deep into this innings and give the Pirahnas something to work with. But Aryan Prasad, one of the young players, the under-19 players in this tournament, he has held his own playing with the senior guys and has been one of the finest of the tournament as well.
Yes, now if he's going to straight down the leg side, he's not going to miss out on them. He's a test player and showing us why he's a West Indian test player. Good cricketing shot here, Avi. Look where he pitched it. Down the leg side. No turn really, just a shade. And Tej will always be on top of that one. And another boundary to the youngster.
Yeah, string in line there, Aryan Prasad and Tej with the fielding restrictions in these early overs, capitalizing lots of real estate here on the leg side and getting another boundary, 21 off 6.
Well, I understand what he's trying to do there. He's trying to get it as close as possible to the leg and middle stump. With the ball going away from the left-hander, he has to hit across the line or go straight. This time he strayed in the previous delivery. Good, and you hear the shout of a spectator there. Good ball. That is exactly what it was. Got a better line, lined with the middle stump there, moving away. Cramped for room there, Tej. This time he's going over the top. That's a calculated risk earlier on. Everything was good about the shot. Realizing it is going to go away from him, went under it, as we can see here on the replay.
Yeah, in this T10 format, you really have to learn very quickly. It's a short space of time, just 2 overs maximum for bowlers. And you've seen Aryan Prasad trying different things in this over to ensure that he keeps Tejan Chandapal in check. But so far, the battle has gone the way of the left-hander.
Yes, and Tej has taken it to another level here. And this is great to see. Going after his man again. Pierces the offside field. No, he hasn't. Down towards the backward point region. Can't get past the field. But this time he got on top of it. 2 overs gone. 28 without loss. Tej has rocketed to 25 from 9. Sampson, like a spectator, and you don't see that often, 2 from 3.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're not looking at the cricket and you're hearing 28 without loss after 2, the Piranhas, you would think that Quinton Sampson is the one leading the charge. But as you rightly mentioned, he has been a spectator. But that has given him time to get his eyes in. And the Caimans would be cognizant of that, because if he gets going here this afternoon, it could spell danger for the Caimans.
Yes, and having reached the semi-final, the last thing you will want is to lose your last preliminary game. You want to keep a momentum. You want to ensure that your confidence level is there. But it's early days yet. We're just 2 overs gone, but the strike rate is just immaculate.
Well, the projected score now is 140, and we've seen teams getting to that mark quite a few times. Well, that's the end of Quinton Sampson. Bowled by Bernard Bailey. Beaten for there's a slower ball there from Bernard Bailey. And the stump knocked back. He's gone for 2 of 4. And it's not going to be Quinton Sampson today. That's the end of his tournament. And what a tournament he has had. What a good wicket to get there for the Berbice Caimans. Bowl down, Quinton Sampson.
Yes, looking to go across the lane. Now, Sampson has the power to go straight back over the head of the bowler. He chose otherwise. And Bernard Bailey has clipped the hair of Quinton Sampson. And he's a goner at the moment. Not the way he wanted to end the tournament. But this is how it happens sometime. I don't like the shot that he played. Miscalculated terribly and paid the penalty. But that guy walking out in the middle there, Ricky Sargent, he can hit a long ball as well. And with a good start, don't do too many things sillies. Pick the right balls.
Yeah, and that strike rate of 191. And if he could get a little innings there at that strike rate, then it would be of great help to the Berbice Piranhas. They've gotten a good start, primarily because of the exploits of Tejan Ryan Chandapal. Big wicket to lose there, though, Quinton Sampson, as they look to close out this competition with a win. That's the scores of Ricky Sargent. Just one significant score at 46. And a string of 4 single-figure scores. He'd want to end the tournament on a high as well.
Yes, and that 46 was against this very team. He's playing against the Piranhas, so he has to know something about their bowling. And let's see now, how will Tage play his innings through? Good start, 25 from 9. They have lost the early wicket in Quinton Sampson, the ace batter in the team as far as T10 is concerned. What role he's going to play? Will he continue to be aggressive? Will he close up shop? Has to do with what happens between the two airs.
Yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. I don't think that it's wise for Tage to close shop at this stage. Or as the senior batter, he's already in. It is important that he bats deep into this innings as the senior batsman in this team. May not be a format that he's, one that he's enjoyed, but I'm sure for the Piranha's sake, they would want him to bat deep. Outside the off stump and tucked away by Ricky Sargent. He's off the mark with 2. Right outside the off stump and played away through the gap for a double. 30 for the loss of 1 in over number 3.
Yeah, that's a cool shot. Just stood tall on the back foot. He's a strong guy. Didn't really got to the pitch of the delivery outside the line of the off stump, but had bat onto ball. Picked the gap nicely. Good run in between the wickets as well.
Bailey has come back well in this over after that opening start where he was taken to the cleaners by Tejan Ryan. Just the 2 runs with the wicket. So he's been keeping things tight from this end in this over, and that is good to see for the Caimans.
Yes, roughed up badly by Tage in the first over, but since then he has come back nicely. 3 deliveries so far, just 2 runs and a wicket, like you said.
That's in the air now and caught. Ricky Sargent getting elevation and not the distance, and he's caught in the coverage by Navindra Prasad. Short little innings from Ricky Sargent comes to an end, and what an over it's been from Bernard Bailey. 2 wickets and just 2 runs so far.
Yes, that's a soft dismissal. It's like overboiling the potato here. I mean, why you want to play that kind of a shot there? He threw caution to the wind, stood up tall. He's a strong guy. He didn't actually went powerful at it as well. Badly misread it, and the bowler outfoxed him, a slow delivery. You must be able to read these deliveries, and I'm afraid if they're going to continue to lose wickets like this, they will struggle. Now look at that one. If he had delayed the shot, he would have gotten it over the backward point region. You know, not everything you're going to go and look and slug at deliveries. Play with some smart thinking. I think he has given away his wicket.
And definitely this innings, a short innings so far, seems to be one of 2 things. Tejan Ryan Chandapal taking it away in that first over and a half, and then all of a sudden they've kept things back, the Caimans, picked up wickets, and it seems to be a different complexion altogether with Rajiv Ivan now coming at number 4.
Yes, and the Caimans are telling us, listen, this is the reason why we have already booked a semi-final place, and we are playing like a semi-finalist team here at Enmore. Not a good start, like you mentioned, Avi, but has come back very, very strong. You picked up 2 wickets, and we are in the 3rd over. You have managed to pull back the run rate. So it simply means now the confidence level is back with the Caimans.
Yes, and it would be interesting to see, as you mentioned earlier, how would be the approach of Tejan Ryan Chandapal. He's already gotten a start. He hasn't been in strike for the longest while, maybe towards the end of the last over, now in this one. So we know how much momentum that would take away from what he's been doing so far.
And it can definitely affect his batting as well. We've seen it on numerous occasions. You keep him out. It's a different mindset story. With 2 wickets stumble, he might be thinking so many different things in his head. But this guy has some experience out in the middle, Rajiv Ivan. Well, that one kept low, no pace at all. If previous deliveries were slow, this was mightily slower than that.
Well, the guy's having a bit of laugh about it as well, out in the middle. But a brilliant over so far from Bernard Bailey. And that's how you rebound after being slaughtered in that first over, coming back and showing that, you know what, I can bowl.
Yes.
You know, 2 for 2 in this one, overall 2 for 21. Coming up his final delivery of his spell.
Yes, the wicketkeeper there is who, Bramble? Yes. Good to see Bramble back. But look at old man. He's holding those legs, Avinash. Those knees at different ages, you know, different pains step in. Well, he floored that one there. No, man, that should have been taken there. That Sankar moving away towards his right. And Bernard Bailey's not going to feel happy with that one at all. That should have been taken.
Yes, at this level, you've got to take catches like those. It went straight to him, full toss outside the off stump. And look at that, in and out. Poor there from Stephen Sankar and the Burmese Caimans. What an excellent over from Bernard Bailey. 31 for the loss of 2. And all of a sudden, that projected score now has gone down to 103.
Yes, 10.33 they're scoring at. Started in a hectic rate, 19 of the first over. And this is what happens when you lose wickets. Bailey, 2 for 22. He has completed his spell. Aryan Prasad, very disciplined, none for 9. 1 over. He still has 1 more to go. So they have come back nicely here, the Caimans. And pressure now is on the Pirahnas to make a match of this one here. And just in case if that catch was taken, you imagine how sorry that scoreboard would have been looking?
Well, Sankar has an opportunity now to make up for that spill chance as he picks up the attack, the leg spinner from the northern end of the ground. We call it the top end here at Enmore. And he would want to make amends. And maybe Bailey might have a few words for him later on.
You never know. What Tage is thinking now, well, he dropped a catch. They have given him the ball to bowl. I'm going to add some salt to the wound whenever he gets there. No, that's well played. Soft hands. But still doesn't manage to get a single. So with the wickets now, Avi, dot balls have now become the thing.
Yeah, the Caimans have come back pretty well in this short 3.1 overs so far. And they've certainly kept things tight and picked up wickets, which is important in this format.
Yeah, spinning. What is spin, Bailey?
There was shout of catch it again, ever so close, but it bisects the 2 fielder there and run away down towards the boundary for 4, but did come off the edge of the bat there, spent some time in the air, but had more power this time.
Yeah, it was safe in the end too, splicing those 2 fielders and a welcome boundary there for the Piranhas. Rajiv Ivan getting a go on here. But importantly, we haven't seen Tage face a ball since the second over.
Yes, you're right about that. What is he thinking there? Might just get a single. Give me the strike. I want to go over the top like I did in the first over. And they got 2. So, Ivan, what's going through his mind here now? Let's see where will Stephen Sankar, the leg spinner, pitch here. Maybe pitch somewhere around the line of the middle stump, not big torn here, and you just cramp the left-hander for space. And this time missed by Bramble. And that's going to run close towards that white rope. He's not going to get there. But once again, Bramble didn't really go down. He knows how difficult is it for him to get up back when he goes down here, Anthony Bramble.
You mentioned those knees in the Jeet. But it will be interesting to see how the Piranha would approach this innings here now. Remember previously they had the luxury of a Quinton Sampson coming in the middle and death overs. He has been dismissed. And as you rightly mentioned, the Piranhas haven't had that support. That's Quinton Sampson over this tournament. So somebody's got to take up the mantle.
That's a good-looking pull shot. But there's protection down there, maybe a little bit more to his right, to his left. Would have gotten a few. And Tejnarain Chandapal finally has come back in strike.
Well, he might be the man that you'd want the Piranhas to bat through. 25 of 9, 3 fours and 2 wonderfully struck sixes. Clean hitting from Tejnarain Chandapal to start his innings. And he's gotten a start in every single innings that he's played in this competition. Gotten into the 20s, haven't gotten out of it. And he would want to go big for the Piranhas. He's got to shoulder the responsibility with the informed man, Quinton Sampson, being dismissed early.
Yes, I agree with you there. So let's see how he's going to shape up now. Yes, and that was deliberately worked away. Nicely played. And he's good at playing these little tickle shots to get a single. Now he's cut in half here, Tej. Should I bat through the innings? Which simply mean he will want to curtail his natural aggressive instincts that he started with this morning. Can work against them too. And allow Rajiv Ivan to be the one that's going to explore scoring opportunities.
There's got to be clarity in thought between these two. Bramble finally wide down the leg side. But there's got to be clarity in thought between these two. They must understand each other's role. I'm sure they would have discussed that in the little mid-pitch conference in between overs. Good stuff there in the covers by Mahim Khan. He's been one of the find of the tournament, young under 19 guys. He's been getting wickets and he's been electric in the field.
Yes, absolutely. So we watch the Sinclairs field. Mahim Khan, Thaddeus Lovell, brilliant fielders. And we're talking about youngsters coming through. This time they come through for a single here, went straight to the field at backward point, and they end up getting the single. So, has that completed the over? Yes. So 5 overs gone, 4 overs rather, 42 for the loss of 2.
Yeah, you mentioned young players coming into this T10 tournament. You mentioned those under 19 players as well. That's what you have when you have the younger guys mixing with the older ones. You know, you put those younger ones at strategic positions in the field. We've seen, you mentioned Mahim Khan, very fit youngster, and he's been patrolling the boundaries and in the covers. There is the young wicketkeeper as well, Shahid Vera, has been pretty good behind the stumps. And, you know, it's good to see these under 19 players using the opportunity to mix with these older players and more experienced players and getting the opportunity to make their name as well on a national level.
Yes, I agree with you. So Tej is there on 26 from 10, Rajiv Ivan 7 from 7. And now we have seen the introduction of Kevin Sinclair. Bailey 2 for 22, he has done his job. Aryan Prasad none for 9. Stephen Sankar none for 11. Both can come back for their last overs. But Kevin Sinclair, the off spinner, normally opens the bowling for them. He's going to be the third bowler used here this morning. And he's come at a time when they have managed to pull down that run rate and they have taken wickets too. And Kevin always a steady bowler.
Yeah, crucial 2 overs from him, Kevin Sinclair, the test player. And there's also the young Mahim Khan we spoke about. He's been getting wickets in this tournament. So those 2 overs from him as well would be very, very important.
Well, that's on the full toss and treated the way it should. Has gone a long way over the ropes for a maximum. First delivery right up there in the slot. And Rajiv Ivan, look at this, Avi.
Yeah, it seems as though he's the one that's going to be taking up the mantle to go after the bowling. He had a boundary in the previous over, and that 6 now would give him a lot of confidence as the Piranhas look to repair the little early damage that was done by Bailey in that over.
Good, so 13 runs so far for Ivan. He's faced 8 deliveries. Good innings so far, 1-4, 1-6. Flexes the muscle, that's good to see.
Good delivery there from Kevin Sinclair, beating the outside edge. And you mentioned Rajiv Ivan has been around cricket for quite a number of years. Played list A cricket for Guyana, Rajiv Ivan. Experienced cricketer. He was off the scene for a little bit, the local scene. And good to see him back in local cricket, Rajiv Ivan. Pulled away by the left-hander, brings Devon Lord off the boundary. So lots of bowling options here for the Caimans. There's Lord as well, the best bowling figures in the tournament, 4 for 6.
He has done splendidly. I enjoy him bowling. I enjoy seeing one of the guys' name that we didn't call this morning in the catching department. And that's Jeremiah Scott. He's been brilliant. The ball followed him. He took his catches. Enjoys his cricket. Tage very stylishly opening the face down towards the square cover region and picking off a single. And I'm sure at some time, just maybe after this over, we have some good statisticians at FL Sport. They will certainly be showing off some of those stats, that are so important in the preliminaries. Hoiking this one in the air, straight down the throat. And that's Kevlon Anderson. Yes, Kevlon Anderson, the one that took the catch there. Kevin Sinclair is going to feel particularly happy finding his man, not getting the power here. Rajiv Ivan, gone for 14 off 10.
Well, he was looking to get on with it there, Rajiv Ivan, and maybe getting the elevation there and not the distance, not clearing that fielder. Good catch on the boundary by Kevlon Anderson. His little innings comes to an end. It's 50 for the loss of 3. We're in over number 5. Tejan Chandapal, he's still there. 27 off 11. Hasn't had the strikers much in the last couple of overs. But Sinclair striking in his very first over. 1 for 8. And the new batsman, Versami Premal, the captain, batting at number 5. He made an unbeaten 26 off 17 in the last game. They fell short by 8 runs in that game, and he would want to continue with that momentum as the Piranhas look to end the tournament, as we mentioned, on a high. Joining me, John Ramsing, as some drizzles here at Enmore.
Hello, Avinash. Hello, everyone.
Last one to you. Right arm over.
Cool conditions, cloudy conditions here at Enmore. And a game on hand. Halfway stage. Successful over for Sinclair. 51 now for the loss of 3. I was looking at Rajiv Ivan in the middle of moments ago. I was remembering the days when the likes of Narsingh, Ryan was at the crease. Similar type of mannerisms. So Quinton Sampson ending his campaign today. Leading run scorer. 29 sixes like we're seeing in that charts. Algo will continue. Akshay Prasad has a game this afternoon. Barnwell game in hand as well because he's into the semi-final. 13 scalps to Pramal. He's going to finish today. How many will he add to that 13? We'll have to wait and see.
Hello.
Abhijit mentioned earlier about the catching, but look at the sixes race. Quinton Sampson, 29, leading that race. He's in an elite club, but good to see likes of Akshay Prasad on both of those charts, meaning that there's still a game for someone who can play orthodox cricket shots.
Yeah, and he's been doing pretty well in this competition, Akshay Prasad. Outside the off some can't beat the fielder there, Versami Premal, but you mentioned Rajiv Ivan, then Narsingh Dionarain, the era of Sinarain Chattagoon, Damodar Dashrath. Those were the days of inter-county cricket. Very, very competitive.
We're asking for D Lord. Now D Lord is into the attack, Devon Lord. So Ivan has played in 3 matches for Guyana, 2 list and 1 against the Tour in Pakistan side of the border. And I was looking to see if he had the distinct advantage of batting or playing in the same 11 with S. Chandapal, because he's here today. And almost a run out of T. Chandapal. Let's see what happened here. The return came in. Mahim Khan, the youngster. Had he hit or had it been a better return, Ramble could have actually take off the bails and Tej would have been struggling. He was looking for a second that was not on.
And you can't keep young Mahim Khan out of the game, John. This guy is pretty good. He's good with ball, good in the field. Very fit youngster and showing his wares here on the national stage. Bright prospect for the future.
You have a lot of time for him, young Mahim Khan. Yeah, I was actually checking to see if Rajiv Ivan batted with Shiv Chandapal or played in the same 11, but Shiv did not play in those games that he played in. Those games were back in 2013. Rather suspect Shiv would have been on international duties at that time. It's coming here a little bit heavy now. And umpires are looking around. Lord, in the meantime, trying to finish at least this over as an opportunity.
Yeah, well, it's starting to come down a bit heavy here now, John, and it's only a matter of time before the umpires make a decision whether to take the players off. We're seeing a signal now from the standing umpire.
Yes, they're calling it on. They're calling the covers on. Play will stop because of rain. We're in over number 6, 55 for 3. Pirahnas won the toss and they're batting. I'll tell you what, it's an interruption. There was no sun this morning at the venue, and that pitch indeed looked dark at the top. Means lots of moisture, and this rain will not help that. So the players are coming off. Covers will give those groundsmen a challenge, and some of the players want to help as well. So this is what has happened this morning: 55 for 3, 5.4 overs. Chana Paul is still there on 28. Ivan, an attractive 14 before he was dismissed. Captain Pamal has just gotten to the wicket. Bailey started things off with the ball and also with wickets. 2 for 22. So that pitch is... Oh, look at this breeze, and these youngsters are trying their level best. That's why do not, when the groundsmen are doing their work, do not try to tell them what to do. The cricketers are trying, and it's difficult for them, Avinash.
Yeah, but it's good to see them, being part of the process. Shows that they want to play the game. That's Mahim Khan. Spoke about him earlier. It's very, very windy there at Enmore, though, and the wind is good. At least, it takes those rain clouds away, and hopefully we could have a resumption of play pretty soon.
Yeah, Kevin Sinclair, a test play as well, playing his part. Yeah, these players want to play, so trying to get the covers on in time so they can protect that 22 yards. So we're going to take a break, Avinash. When we come back, we hope to have some live action on the other side of it. Meantime, stay tuned right here to the Guyana T10 Blast.
Welcome back to the Enmore Community Center ground for the restart of this match between the Pirahnas and the Caimans. Down the track is staging Ryan Chandapal and picks up a single. A rain delay has forced this match now into a 7-over contest, with the Piranhas 56 now for a loss of 3. Not a heavy shower, just a passing one. And the players back on the field. The projected score now is 67. Of course, it's a 7-over contest. The match being reduced by 3 overs. As Devon Lord will continue his first over into ball to Pirmal. And he's lifting this one over the long on boundary for a 6 to end the over. 62 for the loss of 3. Versami Pirmal upon resumption. The second ball upon resumption, lifting Devon Lord wide of the long on boundary for a maximum. The end of over number 6, 62 for the loss of 3. Tejaran Chandapal on 29. Rajiv Ivan, he made 14. And Versami Pirmal, he's not out on 9. The bowling figures: Bernard Bailey 2 for 22. Kevin Sinclair 1 for 9. And Aryan Passad just the 1 over. 1 over remaining as my good friend John Ramsing joins us for that final over.
Just 6 deliveries. We're looking at 6 highlight deliveries at that. This game is already abbreviated. We can even shorten now to 7 overs aside. The only reason because there's another game this afternoon, trying to get in both matches in natural daylight. The semi-final teams are known, but the placements is what they're looking for. Who will finish 1, 2, 3, or 4?
And still cool conditions here, John, and good wind coming into the commentary box here, situated to the western end of the Enmore Community Center ground. We're not at that traditional commentary box that is located toward the southern end. Nice wind coming across the Enmore Community Center ground, taking those heavy clouds away from the venue.
The shouters catch it. Gonna fall short of the fielder. It's good to see Tejaran Chandapal really changing the way he regularly plays as well. This one is in the air as well. This time it's going to be taken by Kevlin Anderson not long on. I can see it's muted celebrations for the Caimans, realizing that there's no need to really go celebrating when they're already assured of a spot in the semi-final.
Well, Pirmal had to go to you. Balls are running out there. This is the final over of the innings. The match reduced to 7 overs. And a good safe hand there on the boundary. Those of Kevlin Anderson. Wicket number 2 for Kevin Sinclair. 63 for the loss of 4. 4 deliveries remaining in this abbreviated contest.
Four deliveries to go. Sigarhit Rahmani walk into the battle. Highest score 20. Limited opportunities you get in these matches, especially the top orders firing. But a strike rate of 127, that is something that you can look as a positive. Batting with a test player, Tejaran Chandapal, could give anybody either confidence or some goosebumps.
Well, I think he needs to go big, or the other sensible thing to do is get Tejaran Chandapal back on strike. He's been there from the start, 30 off 14. Had a flying start in that first over. And when you look back, the Piranhas would be disappointed that they're just 63 for 4 in the 7th over.
This is an interesting battle now. Tejaran Chandapal will go on strike to Kevin Sinclair. 3 deliveries to go.
Well, Chandapal will look to maximize on these 3 deliveries. He needs to bat those final 3 deliveries and get the Piranhas anything over 70. 64 for 4. 3 deliveries remaining in the innings.
Very close to the boundary. Chupataya parading the boundary. Does well to cut it off and sends a good return as well. But it's been a good campaign for the Caimans. With Kevin Sinclair in their squad, Kevin Anderson and the likes. And that team is further boosted with the inclusion of Anthony Bramble today.
Yeah, it's a dress rehearsal for them as they go into that those semi-finals happening on Saturday. They would want to end on a high, go in with the momentum.
This one has gone into outer space. That's another massive hit from Chandapal. Gets the treatment, Kevin Sinclair.
Yeah, good looking shot there by Tejan Chandapal coming towards the back end of that innings. 38 of 16, spoiling what has been a pretty good over so far from Kevin Sinclair.
Was completed end of the innings. The strike rate is just about 10 and a half. Chandapal finishing 38 from 17. 3 maximums to go, 3 fours as well. 2 sixes from Ivan and Pramal. Double wicket, Sinclair and Bailey. 72 for the loss of 4. 6 extras in that innings.
Yeah, 72 for the loss of 4, as you mentioned. They need to go at over 10 runs and over the Caimans. And they would look to end the tournament with a win. 7-over contest coming up. And we'll rejoin you shortly for that reply.
Walang stop din. Cockpit. Put it on right there.
one fast up. Move fast, right? Come on and pass it. Come on this. Come on this juice. Yeah, what's it coming in there? Pass it, add it down quick. Yeah, ring coming in. Look, let me see. Come on, get it back.
It's a brand new song, right? Camera, they got to signal 6.
Ready, boy? Yo. Well, a disappointing end to the penultimate preliminary match in the inaugural edition of the One Guyana T10 Blast. Rain has the final say. Caimans against the Piranhas. Caimans will move on to the semi-final stage. Piranhas, of course, will not make it through to that level. There's a game still to be played, match number 30. Whether that will be played is left to be seen. But the news from match 29 is that because of rain, there is no result. However, the Caimans will advance to the semi-finals. If we have some more news for you, we'll come back and give you that. Until then,